Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Boss Babe Blog Podcast. I am your host, KeTohn, and today we are talking about how the people you hang around can affect your mental. So today we have three amazing guests, and they're also business owners that are listed in our directory. MJ from Travel with MJ. We have Vania from Vania's Travel Squad. We have Leslie from LeslieSpeaks, and we're just going to be talking about this topic. So let's start it off. Who wants to go first? How do the people that you hang around affect your mental? Who's starting?
Baby, I'll take it.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it cute. But every time I say that, I don't.
Yeah, I'm like,
if you know you're a negative Ned, negative Nancy, negative Karen, negative Ken, there's certain people you can't be around. They deplete your energy. They are the what's the word? The vultures. That's what I'm looking for. The vultures. They take, but never ever give. And that's physical, financial, and mental. You know, everybody wants somebody to, mentally dump their trash on. But when it comes time for somebody to dump theirs onto them, they're never available.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some reciprocation here, ladies and gentlemen, because if you're my friend, if you're somebody who's supposed to be important to me, I should be able to come to you if I need to and say, hey, this is what's going on with me. But every time you need me, I'm there. So guess what's going to start happening? That phone is going to be on Do Not Disturb. And not for the whole phone, just your name.
Just your name. Okay.
Because Team iPhone, we can do that. Okay. I'm just throwing it out there. If you Team iPhone and you didn't know that you can put a certain conversation on mute, you can. So it's real hard when, and I'm gonna try not to step on everybody's toes here because I know everybody got something to say, and I don't want to take all the shine. But it's real hard when you don't have a friend who is reciprocating. Hey, I'm there when you need me. Those words are very powerful, but not a lot of people actually mean that when they say it. So don't even waste my time saying it.
That's
don't
true.
waste my time using those. And I'm an English teacher as well, so words mean everything to me. just if you don't mean it, don't say it.
That's a good one. That's a great one. No, I love it. I love the fact that you those are two really great points. If you don't mean it, if you don't say it, and also the ones that are conveniently always unloading onto you, but for some reason when you need to unload, they gone in the wind. Where you at? So that's a good one. I don't think that's too much. I think those are right on the point. We got enough shine to go around. So who's next?
Vanya, you want to go? Because last time we ate it up. You can go, Vanya.
I definitely feel that who you're around affects you. With me, it's like I don't have time for drama. I don't have time for toxic. I'm grown. You know what I mean? I'm grown. And you allow what you allow around you is what's gonna, you know what I mean? So I definitely am very short on it's like I need to protect my peace. And I don't need you messing up my peace. So if that's what it's gonna be, then I could talk to you. I limit that type, you know what I mean? I limit that. Because I don't need it rubbing off on me. So
exactly.
That's me.
Limited access. I love it. So What about you, Leslie?
Yes. I'm gonna speak from experience. I had this particular person, no matter every day, I was like, it can't be something negative every day, whether it's with the job, the people you hang around. And me, my peace of mind, I'm focused on what I'm doing. I'm trying to get my business together. And it like kind of pushed me back a while, because that's kind of why y'all didn't see me, because it was like I'm dealing with negative, information, negative energy from somebody that's close to me, which is hindering my progress or my consistency on what I'm supposed to be focusing on. And I'm like, if it's something every day, sometimes you have to take a step back and look at yourself. Like, if this bothers you that much, Why don't you take yourself out of the equation or remove yourself around the people that you hang around? Or it may just be you. Are you looking at yourself? Are you holding yourself accountable for these people that you're been around? And then you're being selfish to bring it to somebody else who has nothing to do with it. And their focus is, and it's draining mentally. It's very, very draining. It can make you stressed. It can make you depressed. And people don't know that. But when you get ready to speak on something that you really need somebody to hear you say, they'll either completely cut you off, they'll ignore you, they'll dismiss you. But once you get silent and don't say anything, then I'm the problem. You see what I'm saying? And I was like, well, how is it okay for you to voice your opinion and be negative, but if I have something that I need to relieve from me mentally, from you draining me, I'm cut off and dismissed? So it's like you have to think about self. This goes back to self-care, self-love. Never let nobody deplete you in that way, take your energy away from you and your focus on what you're doing, because that can lead down a different road. Even if it doesn't have anything to do with you, it can affect you mentally, because I've been there before.
I can definitely understand that. And it is so true. Like when you have people that are around you, a lot of people, and this is why it's always going to come back to what we choose to move forward with, like you said, taking that step back, because a lot of people, they're not going to stop. They're going to continue to do that. And they don't care about how inconsiderate it could be. You could be having a wonderful day, and then they decide to come to you with some nonsense and drama, knowing goodness well that they could have waited to talk to you about this because it was not an emergency. But what do? Continue forward with the nonsense and drama. Don't care about how it stresses you out. Don't care about how it changes your mood. Don't care about how it affects your performance. Just unload, and dump it off all the time. And the crazy part about it is that a lot of people go around in their minds trying to justify why someone's doing that, and also trying to normalize, like, oh, they'll get it, or they won't be doing it all the time. But the reality is that you teach people how to treat you. So they will keep going until you say,
yep,
you know what? I'm not available. I'm sorry. I can't talk to you today. You know what? This is all I can do. You know what? No, I can't come. They keep going. It's unfortunate. It's not right. It's not a justification. It's just the reality that that's what people do, because everybody was not raised the same way. I was raised in a place where it was like, okay, let me be considerate. Let me think. I know I'm asking her a lot. I wonder, is she tired? Like, are you tired? How do you feel? That's how I was raised. And so when you're raised a certain kind of way, you tend to want to believe that everyone's going to treat you that way because you treat them that way. But the reality in life is that everybody is not going to do that. There are going to be people who, regardless of how great you treat them, they are still going to be trifling. So it's up to you, like Leslie was saying, to take that step back and say, we need to reevaluate either the level of access that you have, like Vania said, or if you have access at all, like MJ said. So let's there's a lot of really good information here. The first one, where MJ was talking about unloading, I do think that is the thing where people are always unloading. And then when you're like, hey, I need to talk about something, where they at? Everybody sleep. Everybody gone. Everybody on vacation. Everybody at work. Everybody doing something. They're not available when you're needing support. And I would say, here's what I would say, because when our mind is playing tricks on us, sometimes it's easy to let your emotions control your thoughts. So maybe because you're in a really bad state and you're frantic or having a panic attack and no one answers in that moment, you feel like, oh, I just can't rely on anybody in that moment. But once you take a deep breath, reassess the situation and see if this someone who's always like this, or is it just they didn't answer because they really were asleep that time. People have to remember there's a balance when it comes to understanding whether or not someone doesn't need to be around you, or whether or not you just need to wait a moment, because life happens for everybody. It didn't just happen for you. Like, they still have to pay bills, wake up, go to school, do work, all that other stuff. So I try to put that out there. Like, I understand that I'm very reasonable, but once I keep, having you come and unload your stuff on me, and it's like you're never available or open or willing to listen when I'm ready to unload, now it's seeming like there's a pattern here. And where there are patterns, usually there's truth behind that pattern. So I like the fact that you mentioned that, MJ. And another thing too is that people are not considerate when they unload. Some people are not considerate. Some people don't care about where you're at, what you're doing, who you're with, how you're feeling when they unload whatever it is that's going on onto you. And I understand we unload because we need to release. We need that support. But part of becoming a master of your emotions and a part of being an adult is taking accountability for where we can have more patience. So just because in that moment I'm angry, I'm so upset. Oh, I want to tell her about how she made me so mad today. But she's in the middle of a speech. And she's in the middle of a speech talking to people. Let me just wait, because this is not an emergency. I don't have to call her before the speech to say, girl, you made me so mad when you did it. Just wait. Just wait. You know what I mean? You ever have those people? Y'all ever met that person? And it's just like, breathe, relax. And we've all probably had those moments one time in our life where it was like, we just felt like in the moment. I've had those moments. Like when I first started working in retail, being that I was a younger store manager, a lot of times I would get questions and responses that people who were older than me wouldn't get because I'm younger. So they assume that my youth has to do with my experience or my intelligence. So I might say something like, can you please fold those shirts and put them in the wall neatly with the sizes out so customers can easily find them? Well, why do I have to fold them? I don't understand. And then somebody next to me come and say, hey, can you fold those shirts? Put them in the wall. Don't even explain why. And then they say, oh, yeah, sure. No problem, boss.
You gonna be the one like,
why would you not need to fold them though is the question for me.
So, this was like one of my first jobs, girl. I don't know. This is one of my first jobs. I'm manager positions. And so I'm heated. I'm going home. I'm like, no, tomorrow I'm about to let them have it. I'm about to tell them everything. My mom was like, relax. It's not that big. I was like, no, it's big. It's big. I was just really angry in the moment. And then fast forwarding into my life now, can't even remember the name of the person that did that. Remember the face, but I don't remember this person. If I saw them off the street, I'd probably keep walking because I don't remember all the details. So my thing is like, we just let the in the moment control how we move and how we conduct ourselves. And we can't always do that. So it's okay to unload. But like MJ said, you're always unloading. You're never there for somebody else. We got something we need to talk about. And then also think about how you unload. Let's try to be considerate. Your friend is still going to be your friend after an hour. So you can call her in 1 hour and you can unload. She's not going to stop being your friend in 1 hour. I promise you, if she's your friend. So just give it a moment. But then Vania said something about, MJ said something about say what you mean. Vania said something about protecting your peace, limited access, which is a really big thing. Like, at the end of the day, it's you or it's the threat at the end of the day. And you either choose to continue to try to make excuses and, it's this, or you choose yourself. And people who really are there for you and support you will understand and support you choosing yourself. It's only the people who have an issue with you creating boundaries or loving on yourself that you really need to be thinking like, maybe they're not the best person for me to be around. That's a red flag. When you set a boundary and it's like they feel the need to break it, you say, well, guys, I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to be available after 5 p.m. I'm so sorry. But on this day at this time, I can't work. I have something that I have to take care of for myself. And then you're going to get that one person calling you at 5:15. I mean, really calling you over and over again, trying to, because it's like an urge they have. Those are the kind of people that, it really does affect your mental. And I want to end it on the thought process of how valuable you are as a person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that the reason why a lot of people deal with some of the things they deal with is because they don't completely fathom how valuable they are and how much potential they have to achieve their dreams and more. Right. And so I've seen this many times where I'm trying to protect someone who doesn't even want to protect themselves because they don't see the value within themselves. You know how many people, relationships, friendships, partnerships that I have been in where I tried to tell someone, red flag, red flag, red flag. Like, no, you need to get away from this person. You need to stop talking to them. You need to stop going over there. You need to stop driving in that car with them. You need to stop letting them pick you up over and over again. Mm-hmm. And they just look at me like I'm nagging, because that's what happens when people don't want your advice, whether, or the truth. They look at you like you're nagging, you're negative, you're hating, or whatever it is. And so it gets to the point where you're forceful. Oh, she's whining. She's always nagging. She's always complaining. No, I see the value in you. I see how important it is that you stay focused because you have so much in you to achieve. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, I see you doing that. And if you can't see it for yourself, you're never going to be able to get away from those people. You're going to keep hanging around the same people. There are certain people, I love you to death. I'm not getting in the car with you. I'm sorry. Right. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. I can't do it. I value myself, and I know you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I can't be around it. There's some people, I'm not stepping in your house. I'm sorry. I can't. Now, when you change some of your life decisions that allow me to feel like this is a safe place for me as well, and I'm not jeopardizing what I've worked so hard to do, by all means, hey, where the party at? But until then, baby, you better meet me at the corner store, the park, wherever we're going. But we're not going inside. People don't understand. You got to protect your vision. So I want to remind people, you are extremely valuable, and what it is that you are set on this earth to do is extremely valuable. And just because you don't completely see it yet, or just because you haven't found it yet, doesn't mean that you don't need to start doing what it takes to protect it now. Because you may not see it today, but tomorrow you might wake up with a dream and say, this is what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. And if you're hanging around the convenient friends, the ones that are only around when they need something and never around when you need support, or people who doing stuff they ain't got no business doing and they don't care about how it affects you, or people who are completely negative and don't think about how that affects your mental, you're not gonna be able to achieve that stuff when you do see the vision. So who you hang around, it's gonna affect everything, your mental, your life, all of that. And if you think, oh, I'm a positive person, I can withstand it. You can only take so much. Too much of anything is not a good thing. Superhumans, or we're superhumans, but we're not abnormal. We're humans. And a part of being human is that you start to adjust to your environment. So if you look at the 5 people that you spend the most time talking to or that you're around, I want you to pay attention to their pockets. I want you to pay attention to their relationships. And I want you to pay attention to their mental. That's where you're going to be at in the next 5 years. So if all of those don't sound great, if they're not focused on budgeting or saving or, getting to their goals, achieving things, guess what? That's where you're going to be, right there with them. If they don't have relationships, or they're not trying to foster or build relationships or grow or elevate as an adult, guess what? That's where you're going to be. And last but not least, if they are negative Nancy's and every time you talk to them, it's, oh, but she didn't do X, Y, and Z, and I don't know why she did that. Every single time you talk to them, guess what? That's where
it's going to be you.
Look, I know you're thinking, well, we already know this, but some people really feel like they are strong enough to be in these terrible environments and be around these negative, draining people and still come out with the same energy for themselves.
Right.
But you're very strong. Everyone is strong, but you're going to be getting energy sucked from you. And that's energy that could have been put into yourself so that you could blossom. But instead it's put into listening to so-and-so talk about how she just hate this and hate that. And listening to so-and-so talk about how, oh, I just had this going on in their life. And then you come back and where are you at? The same place. And now you're frustrated with yourself. So that's all that I have. Did any of you ladies want to add on any last final message for anyone listening?
No, you pretty much summed it up. Yeah.
Look, I was taking notes over here. I was like, okay, let's make sure we I'll have some good stuff. So there you have it, everyone. Protect your peace. Make sure you're around people who reciprocate. And remember that you have to pull back sometimes. Sometimes you got to take a step back when people are too negative or not thinking about you. You got to think about yourself. Thank you all so much for watching the Boss Babe Blog Podcast. I'm your host, KeTohn. And today we had our guest, MJ. We had Leslie. We had Vania. MJ, could you briefly let everyone know what you provide?
We provide quality vacation services for everyone for as many budgets as we can possibly fit.
Thank you. Leslie, what about you?
Yes, I provide financial support for working professional and business women in the U.S. We specialize in life insurance, retirement planning, debt elimination, and financial consulting.
Thank you. And then Vania.
Yes, I provide personalized vacations, whether it's a group, whether it's an all-girls trip, family trip, or couples. I work hand in hand with you, and we design a personalized vacation.
Perfect. And for those of you who don't already know, I'm KeTohn. BossBabeBlog.com is where you can go to receive amazing products and services from small businesses that are based in the US and now some that are international. And if you are a business owner, you can go and receive business advertising, promotion, elevation resources, and so much more. So thank you all so much for watching, and bye-bye from the Boss Babe Blog Podcast.
Deuces.